Hey everybody, the name's Rigged Up, and I am hitting play. Finally gonna get to see some good old LCK play going on, as the Kespa Cup just took place over the course of the holidays. The winner was already decided, but want to sort of jump back and look at some of the games here, get some practice in, because I was out of commission for about 2 weeks. Well, not only was I busy with the holidays, but started losing my voice and nearly completely lost it over the course of the holidays, and I'm still a little. Oh, geez, I shouldn't even joke about that. I'll just bring it back up and I'll start coughing way too much. But things to note at the start of this game, we can see global ban on Nico and Xin Zhao. Nico, I think, was introduced on 8.24, as we see at the very top of that, which patch we're on. Xin, I'm not sure what the problem is. I haven't had the chance to look into that because I was just diving in. Not sure about that, but that'll probably cause some changes in the jungle picks here. Now, I don't know what the priority picks are. I imagine we're going to see some things that we've seen probably at Worlds or so. Some similar picks in here. I mean, Lucian getting right out of the gate first pick here. I guess they're giving a lot of emphasis, KT, to Zenit with their new roster that they have here. BDD and Smeb still on that roster, so I mean that's a fantastic core. I'm not sure about Umtai or Umtai, Zenit or Mia, but I mean, yeah, how can you deny the success of Smeb and BDD? But probably, I would imagine though the main reason that they pick up that Lucian just provide some comfort for that newer AD carry. Maybe this is the first time on the stage in a major event. Kespa Cup, a great chance to get sort of a working unit here, figure out how or what teams are going to be, what your roster is going to look like, or what they should expect, I'm sorry, going into the LCK. Because I mean, winning Kespa Cup, it's nice, but doesn't mean everything. We've seen a lot of people rise and fall. I know SKT did not do fabulously well this tournament, but it's not a big deal. They, I think, won a world championship and then lost in the first round last year or 2 years ago or something like that. Not a big deal. 2 years ago it was. Everybody was freaking out, but I mean, SKT, they still made it to the finals the following year. Completely fine. But let's focus more on this pick ban. We see Rise, Ezreal, Tom Kench. A lot of safety in that. Ezreal, don't want people dealing with that. His new E, real nice. A lot more damage output from him with that. And his kit, Tom Kench, just offers too much safety. Nobody wants to deal with the Tom Kench. Way too obnoxious, especially with these newer teams sort of getting their mojo and dealing with people. Tom Kench does a pretty good job at catching people out and denying a lot of advantages and such. On the other side, Galio Camille, beautiful combination right there. Just get rid of those champions. Don't want anybody to get that. BDD, really good Galio player, so obviously want to take that off the table from him. Cassiopeia, a little bit of surprise for me. I don't remember BDD. It wouldn't surprise me that he would be a really good at that champion. So probably just want to deny BDD as many champions as possible. But let's talk about these champions. It's already hitting the second phase of pick ban here, so I need to catch back up. A lot of, I think, straightforward champions from the side of KT. Again, Lucian to get that lane dominance, easy to play, comfort pick potentially. Thresh, nice combination with that. Good amount of engaged, can exert some pressure in lane. Lissandra able to sort of engage pretty easily. Make the call, claw in, Frozen Tomb, dictate fights, the start and where they go and such. Ooh, Fiora Jax, they do not want Smeb getting any kind of split push threat here. And denying some supports for Minute, because that bottom lane was the only thing available left on the side of Busan to pick up. They wanted to make sure that they had Zoe and Aurelia, two very strong picks. I mean, as far as this roster and these lineup of teams going down right now, Busan's got quite a fearsome looking team here. Saving support is the final pick, which is a little interesting. I mean, I suppose they don't have to show their hand here. Might be trying to think of something clever here to do. KT trying to figure out their top laner. It's going to be Urgot. Aatrox not going to pick him up at all. Going to ignore the Aatrox and just go for the Urgot. It's a fantastic pick topside either way. And rounding it out with Lee Sin. So KT with a pretty interesting composition here. A lot of go in and get him. Gonna be a weird mix of team fight potential. It feels like they need more, or opting more for a lane dominance sort of role here. A little bit of safety. You know, I think going to be very dependent on Smeb and this Lee Sin going really hard, getting lane control. I mean, their team overall just trying to get lane control. Hope Lissandra can pick off a target, offset a fight easily. And on Busan's side, team comp I like admittedly a lot more. Kha'Zix, we haven't seen much of him, so that's sort of the only question mark there. But Zoe, obnoxiously strong. I think she got a buff on this patch, if I'm not mistaken. Kaisa can scale into later parts of the game, so as long as Moo stays safe with Alistar, able to engage behind Alistar as well, keep him safe. But Aurelie can go hard in, and once she's dropped the ultimate down, Kha'Zix can follow in, not have any issues at all. Zoe, trouble bubble, make somebody fall asleep, and secure that. So right now I'm going to hand it over to Busan to take this game one just purely off pick ban here. I mean, I do think Lissandra was picked for a reason here. Sorry. Gonna try and avoid coughing directly into the mic as much as possible, but I'm not gonna make any promises. But I do have some tea to help me along the way. But let's get skipping ahead here so we're not looking at this blank screen as they load in here. Seeing some communication. Ooh, a nice small staged area. Looking fancy. So KT Rolster, again, you want them to win a World's Championship or a just something. I mean, they did get an LCK title, which is great, but man, oh man. Oh, wow. Actually, KT, interesting. They did win LCK tournament this past year, of course, but that was with Score, I believe. Did Score retire? I am interested in that. Excuse me while I go ahead and check that. And see what's going on here. Are they just testing out the waters with somebody new as they build Worlds again? Want to mix things up, I'm sure. See how things there. No, he's still officially on the roster. So interesting. Anyways, well, that, if anything, that goes to show you that Kespa Cup, not the most serious tournament. This is the chance to sort of test the might of these new players, get them some stage time, see if they can be swapped in for your mainstay players, see if they can inject any kind of anything into a team has seen not that great success on the world international stage and stuff here. I mean, they got kicked out at Worlds. Pretty disappointing. They're considered one of the top teams going into it, but potentially one of the best. But I mean, hey, what can you do? Still a great team. Excited to see how they shape out. Smeb gonna perpetually just be a complete and utter menace to every top laner. Probably, I'd still say I don't know too many swap ups. I mean, there is Khan, of course, but Smeb has just been such a fantastic and pivotal player for this team. But as we see this game roll out, both junglers just taking it nice and slow, taking care of getting their camps, making sure that they are a-okay. I don't see any wards getting tracked out. We do see some warning pings coming out against the Lee Sin. So Zoe trying to get some vision, maybe track down the enemy here. We did see a warning ping, so I do think they know where Lee Sin is at. And it's going to be really important for Lee Sin to get any kind of advantage rolling here. The easiest there are lanes for him to go after. Likely, I mean, he can work through Smeb, EDD. He has a little bit to work with each lane. Aurelia, though, with her stun, going to be difficult to get through, depending on how Zoe plays out. Is actually not that mobile, even though she has that misleading ulti to zip in forward and then jump back. Doesn't actually provide her that much mobility. So while I want to see Lee Sin do some work early, based on this slower, just safe and steady jungle clearing, could just be a result of a newer player on the new stage kind of a deal. But more likely, gonna wait to that level 6, follow up with the engages of his team, the Urgot with his ultimate. Same thing with Lysandra, Thresh, a hook in. But we do see Kha'Zix roaming on in, getting some vision. They do see the pings on the Krugs, so they are going to make sure they know where Lee Sin's at. And man, they have got those beautiful timers on these junglers. We saw ping already go out onto Gromp earlier towards Kha'Zix. They knew that he should be getting that at that moment and have that down. But we see another ping going out onto Lee Sin, so they are very aware of what he's at. And we see in response Aurelia pushing in, pressuring the Urgot, forcing him, trying to push him under that turret. Couldn't quite get it, and this wave is actually in a decent spot for Smeb right now. So Smeb actually able to freeze the lane in a really fantastic spot. Should start getting a CS advantage actually off of that. And slowly see something trickle towards Smeb. Really showing that Smeb is the clear veteran here. We're going to see a 10 CS difference here. He's slowly just chipping away at the minion waves. Going to try and push that into the turret against the Aurelia. Aurelia's just going to probably barely get there. Doesn't want to use that teleport just yet and sacrifice that. But Smeb is really going to put some... goodness gracious, almost 20 CS difference there. So Aurelia going to barely get there in time, but going to be quite behind. And with that amount of pressure that he's exerted top, now Smeb is freed up, can go over to get that Scuttle Crab. I don't even think they were aware. I'm not sure if there was any pings, but Lee Sin able to get the Scuttle Crab for himself. And Kha'Zix pushed back, wasted quite a bit of his time. Not going to be down in levels or anything like that. Tai looking for anything mid lane. We see some missing pings on where he could be, either the chicken camp, and they don't want to take that risk because Kha'Zix does have that isolation damage. So Lee Sin doesn't want to mess himself up in a 1v1 against Kha'Zix when they saw that equal on items. Lee Sin does have the longsword, but that isolation damage should still put Kha'Zix in favor of that situation. So we are starting to see level 6s come in here slowly. I don't think, though, that Kha'Zix is going to have much to work off of. They're going to have to really hard engage onto a single target, maybe through the Alistar, have Kha'Zix zip through the bottom lane. He should be hitting level 6 here off of this blue buff. I don't know quite the experience levels, but judging by the time of the game and the second buff coming up, farm right now, I'm thinking, oh, actually he's going to be handing over that blue buff to Rem here, so level 6 is going to be delayed a little bit more. And with that level 6 getting delayed quite a bit and that Scuttle Crab getting taken away, oh, Zenit actually getting very low after a hard engage from the bottom lane. Barely getting out of there, Ignite and ticking very close to his death. Well, that pressure, though, bottom side, that hard engage actually gives them their GC Busan track to get themselves a dragon. Ocean Drake early, very, very nice. Going to keep everyone very healthy. And it'll definitely help this Aurelia, who looks like is about to get turret dove here. We don't see the ultimate dropping out yet, but this is a 3v1. I expect the Lysandra to start it off. Frozen Tomb, Lee Sin kicking her back. Urgot with the chains to eat her alive and taken out. Rem trying to get somebody with a trouble bubble. Nothing connecting, though. And 3 ultimates just back to back to back getting dropped from KT. Soar did not have a chance. I don't care who you are. You are done for. Soar getting a stun at least, just trying to clear the minion wave as quickly as possible, keep himself safe, but gets that last minion, too late already. All those ultimates drop down, taken out. And that is our first blood going over to KT. Rough stuff for Soar. What are you gonna do? You're up against Smeb. Of course they're gonna put resources towards him. It's just what you do, and it's Urgot. KT playing through the champions. They need Urgot to get rolling early. He can always be a threat with his ultimate, but you want him to be that lane bully, get that pressure, slow Aurelia down from getting her Trinity Force, because for whatever reason, as soon as she gets her Trinity Force, there's one of those champions that seems to flip the switch and all of a sudden is annihilating everyone left and right. Sorry. Trying to stay alive here with my voice. I feel it slowly leaving me. But let's look down the line here of CS. We do see Kai'Sa with a little bit of an advantage. Nothing major here just yet. A little bit more for Urgot with that kill. Really pushing forward. Sleepy Trouble Bubble, though, hitting Lee Sin. We do see Kha'Zix dropping the ultimate. Not going to be moving much forward than that. Kha'Zix ultimate on the timer now. Trying to get vision on the bottom side of the jungle. Keep track of Lee Sin. Umtai thinking about sticking around, waiting to see if Zoe stays here a little bit too long. Sleepy Trouble Bubble used. They should have vision just on Lee Sin. They do see those pings coming out. Lee Sin going to be able to get that control ward and get himself a little bit of control back in the jungle. But BDD slowly inching out Rem here on Lissandra pick. Rem knows that he should not get that close to Lissandra, move up that far into the minion wave, because as soon as he does, Frozen Tomb, Lee Sin could be right around the corner. Ultimates dropped left and right. I mean, we saw it happen to Soar. Urgot may not be there, but is always a little bit squishier than Aurelia, and will probably get blown up quite easily. Stopwatches, though, picked up for both the Lissandra and the Zoe. So in the next engagement here, both will be pretty pivotal for those champions. While I haven't been too impressed with Ryan so far on the Kha'Zix, I mean, he's just playing by the book, playing that objective game. He was able to get the Ocean Drake after gaining control on the bottom side. Oh, but now we see a 3-man going towards the top side. Alistair tanking up turret, dropping the ultimate. Urgot, a lot of damage going out onto him. Aurelia jumping on top of him and securing the kill. Kai'Sa following up nicely with that. And while a 3-man play towards the top side, Kha'Zix, again, doing that objective play, picking up a Rift Herald for himself, and that's going to be 4 guys towards the top side. And with Smeb dead, does have access to teleport, but first Hurt Blood Gold just barely picked up by KT here. But definitely going to get a lot of damage here onto this turret. Oh, is that the plating? Oh yeah, plating is still up right now. And so the Rift Herald not even able to chunk down that turret entirely. This Rift Herald just barely up. They might be able to take it out before it gets that next hit on the turret. No, it's going to be able to get it. And there goes half the turret. So really nice play, although KT was able to get the first turret blood gold, which is a major for them. Absolutely, after losing Smeb. GC Busan strikes back in a fantastic and major way. They get a kill onto the Aurelia, help push her towards that Trinity Force, gets a lot of gold through that plating, able to get Rift Herald, so get a little bit more damage on that second tier top turret, equalize the front there on the top side so that Urgot cannot continue to steamroll. We already see that CS difference there in the top side just by a little bit, and putting Aurelia Soar into a good spot. And we see the bottom lane actually following Soar around and pressuring Urgot away. Looks like these teams are just trading turrets. And this is actually completely fine for Busan because they have champions that scale towards the later parts of the game. They want more gold onto these champions. Getting these turrets with this plating is going to give them a lot more gold. It's going to give them faster to the Trinity Force, get Kaisa faster to those items. Looking for Rage Blade now. Aurelia probably really close, I imagine, to Trinity Force now. That's a second dragon going over to Busan. I mean, Ryan not maybe getting kills with the Kazakhs, but doing work over Umtai. Now, as far as the objective game, and Alistair going in onto Urgot, we see Sleepy Trouble Bubble going over the wall, but not going to connect against anyone. But with the push is just not ending from Busan here, and they're able to get 2 turrets on the bottom side. Only one picked up and answered by KT, and the control of this game actually in favor of Busan as they sort of string around KT across the map, leaving Smeb out to dry here a little bit on the bottom side. The CS lead that he did have no longer exists, and that is a Trinity Force on the Aurelia. And while as the KT, they got to get something to happen here, especially through BDD on Lysandra. He doesn't have any mana, though, and can't follow with Rem. Lee Sin getting a lot of damage out. Hourglass going out. Hook does not connect. Timing on that is very poor. Umtai might go back in with a Q. Nothing yet. Sora's on the backside, and Umtai is going to get dove on by the Aurelia. Going to get kicked back, though. Sora actually might be in a bad situation now. Alistair's going in, though. Sora getting very low. Smeb on the backside, causing mischief for Busan. Aurelia falling on the backside, and while a very back and forth fight, while it looked like KT may have had something going for them, then it went to Busan, now back in KT's favor, able to finally get a kill for themselves. A very close situation. So we see BDD, no mana, not able to get the Frozen Tomb on. Rem gonna take advantage of that and go in for a little bit of poke damage here. And Umtai takes advantage of that over-aggression by Rem, just barely able to get it. MIA, missed timing on the ultimate, so unfortunate. Would have been able to get that kill very easily. Flashing just outside of the Sneaky Trouble Bubble. Sort trying to go on to Umtai, a nice kickback from Umtai, going over to Smeb as he makes his way towards the rest of his team. Aurelia separated, not able to get much support except from the Alistair, and not much follow-up. So really sort of crazy fight there. A lot of crazy things going on. And a little sloppy from both sides. You can definitely tell that there's a lot of potential for these players, but the communication's just not quite there for the team fight. A lot of missteps, and Mia would have been probably just some stage jitters, maybe first time on the stage. I'm again not familiar with this player, so I don't know his history. But I mean, what pro doesn't know the timing of an hourglass or a stopwatch? I mean, a lot of people know it. I think you just a little too heavy on the trigger finger there. Mistimed it, but not a big deal. KT still able to pick up the win in that team fight. So KT actually able to get something rolling for themselves here. Lucian does have Blade of the Rune King. Don't know how effective he's going to be going into the later stages of the game. We see Isaac getting one step closer to Rage Blade. And once that gets online, going to be looking for Busan to start engaging with Alistair, looking for a Sleepy Trouble Bubble. Aurelia engaging, Kazakhs following in, sort of take out a target right away and offset that fight. But KT, they got a lot of engages for themselves. Just a lot of, actually quite a few more ways to engage on their side. But we have another dragon coming up, another Cloud Drake. Not going to be a major priority for KT, most likely. Looks like a lot of control is over on Busan as they put a lot of emphasis on those objectives. We see them sort of setting up in that area. There's a ton of control wards on that side, a lot of vision. We actually have 5 control wards out from the side of GC Busan. I mean, there is that control ward top side that's sort of out there for not many two reasons. And we see, yep, the difference in vision. Thank you, camera guys, for realizing what I was thinking of. And Smeb, that vision difference, Smeb is going to be on the run while the rest of KT tries to push down mid and get that turret. Jisun Busan finally see what's going on and try and answer that. So getting pulled around the map themselves. A lot of damage going on that mid lane turret. Is KT going to overextend here, though? GC Busan trying to push them off the turret. Does so successfully. Was expecting really to jump pretty harshly. Or just dash forward considerably here. But vision control in favor of GC Busan, as stated earlier. Able to get themselves a dragon. Or a second Cloud Drake. While Cloud Drake is the least liked dragon, arguably, that movement speed definitely starts stacking up. It's one of those situations where one Cloud Drake, you can deal with it. Two Cloud Drakes, that becomes a problem. Ooh, Slippy Trouble Bubble does hit, but not going to get any damage out. Does with the Thresh standing right there, Zoe knows that she should not be going forward. But with these members here, oh, Alistair might be looking to engage. Does go forward onto onto Thresh. Gets flayed back, though. Able to pick up the turret, and Alistair actually caught out here. And Urgot picking up Zoe as well, and that's a third member. Kha'Zix following down on the backside. KT collapsing towards mid. Catching GC Busan off-stepped here. And with 3 members dead, they're going to be looking towards Baron that just spawned. Feels a little risky. But with the jungler dead, I guess a 3v2 they are a-okay with. And actually, they're punching through this pretty easily. Sora might be looking to go in on this, though. Does have access to ultimate. Might be trying to make something happen here. Oh, goodness. Kaisa gets blown up. And Aurelia blown up on the backside. This is a terrible idea. I shouldn't be trying to cast right now. It was me. Terribly coughing. I want to see a replay of that so I can maybe redeem myself. That was miserable. So to start this play off, Alistair going in, getting flayed back, denied the kill. Urgot ultimate landing onto Zoe, who got a little bit too close for comfort as well. Kha'Zix just blown up, too squishy to deal with. Although we saw the first part of that, I want to see the second part is Kaisa and Aurelia getting blown up on. A nice attempt by them to try and make something, try to prevent them from doing Baron. Baron was taking them down pretty low. If Aurelia had gotten an ultimate out maybe a little bit earlier in that fight before Kaisa falling immediately, they might have been able to make something happen, but just some mistimings here and in favor of KT here. Oh, and actually Baron not picked up. I suppose they diverted so hard onto the Aurelia. Yeah, they really moved far away from that pit, resetting the Baron. So arguably Aurelia and Kaisa doing a good job here. Gold in favor of KT right now. But Busan still have a lot of tools in their kit here, and Rageblade completed for Kaisa, so they're going to be doing a lot of damage. Oh, Umtai getting very low. Lysandra looking for a target, using Frozen Tomb onto Kha'Zix, going to get blown up, taken out, offsetting the fight. Urgot eating up a target for himself. Kaisa gone now. Alistair dying a little bit before that, and they're going to turn their eyes onto Baron once more. Aurelia already using her ultimate. Zoe's going to do what she can to get some damage out, but they're going to drop a ward on the backside, make sure that Zoe does not want to deal with anything in that hit right now. Trying to get some damage out onto these targets. They're going to be able to secure this Baron for themselves, and they're going to be looking to close this game out. Ooh, Zoe almost getting caught there. Taking a lot of damage initially. So that's 5 members with Baron. A nice fight from KT. So Kha'Zix taking it down Umtai, but we see the Q connect. BDD going really hard in, trying to get Kha'Zix, make sure that they have the Baron control. Alistair ultimate does get dropped, but he just could not tank the damage. And Kaisa moving out a little bit too far forward, or got able to get the Fear Beyond Death ultimate out just right in time, able to eat her up and showing the power of Urgot time and time again. Oh, Lee Sin going very hard. Oh my gosh, Kaisa getting exploding. And Umtai maybe showing why he went with Lee Sin here. Actually is Duskblade for himself, so an AD-centric build for Lee Sin. Goodness gracious. Not what you expect. And just 1, 2, 3. Ouch. Did not expect that. I'm not sure when he completed the Duskblade for himself, but another target taken down, a 2v1 situation, and Umtai tearing it up very, very strong. I have not been paying attention to the kill counts here. And a lot of power onto the Lee Sin here. Makes sense after he connected the Q, why Lysandra was so willing to go in and kill the Kazakhs here. With Baron for themselves is 4v5, Aurelia down, they're going to be able to take down multiple turrets here. Urgot working his way towards the bottom side. His mid lane turret's going to be falling here shortly. Lysandra and Lee Sin pressuring top side. They might be able to get 3 turrets here. Urgot going to be moving over towards mid to try and get that inhibitor along with their other members. A TP from Lysandra going towards top side to Baron those minions up. And pull Busan apart here. So only 1 more turret remaining. We see an inhibitor falling down. KT might be just trying to take 3 inhibitors down here, really forcing Busan into a bad situation. GC Busan is gonna have to try and fight somebody. We see a second inhibitor. Urgot going in though. Rem getting very low already. Lee Sin working on the 3rd inhibitor, which would be a death sentence, but we see Alistar going in, but already falling down to the Urgot. On the backside, Aurelia jumping into the backside, trying to get any target here, but gonna get blown up in almost a 3v1 situation. The rest of the members of Frozen Tomb onto the Kai'Sa, gonna get blown up by Lee Sin. Sleepy Trouble Bubble almost taking down Umtai. Zoe trying to do what he can to shut down and at least drop him at least once and get better than a single kill. But that is not happening today, and KT looking very strong for themselves. And Umtai making a showing for himself on Lee Sin. I expect that champion to get banned next game for sure so that he does not get rolling here. Goodness. But notes, GC Busan, though, looking pretty good, though. A lot of credit to them to face a lot of threats on the side. I mean, BDD and Smeb, no pushovers by any means. Most would freak out and panic a little bit. But kudos, though, to GC Busan. They didn't do anything too crazy. They played a pretty straightforward game. I thought it was pretty clean. Nothing over excessive, though. They did push KT into some difficult situations. They pushed the envelope by pushing the turrets earlier on, increasing gold for themselves. But they just weren't, they didn't feel like they were very together for team fights. They were a little misaligned, and maybe the Alistar would go in and then he would already be dead by the time that another target that like Alistar would go in. The rest of the carries would kind of scatter on GC Busan's side. Kazakhs would die, Aurelia would die, Kaisa would die. The battle lines were not really set and formed. Alistar just going in a little bit too far forward, and none of the 8 carries able to get in there and attack. But guys, thanks for listening. Hopefully my voice can recover here so that I'm not dying, and can actually do some faster casts here. Maybe wake up, do this earlier in the day so I'm not It's almost midnight here, so I can make excuses all day. I got plenty to get better at. Thank y'all for listening. Till next time. Bye.